Howdy, folks. AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And it is definitely beer 30. Today's selection is a very special selection. This is actually going to be a very special edition of Beer 30. Today's selection is called Hobgoblin Dark English Ale. Now, the reason that this is a special selection, and this is going to be a special Beer 30, is that I have been here in Utah for over 8 years, going on 9 years. And the entire time that I've been here, I have not been able to get this beer. For whatever reason, we have state liquor stores here, and they only get a certain, they have certain distributors and all that. They weren't able to get it. So the other day I went to pick up some beers to do these segments for you guys, and of course to have some good beer. And lo and behold, I saw it there. Now the reason that this is so special is that I have never disclosed this to you guys before, but I used to own, well, I take that back, I still do own this website right here, www.thebeerguys.com. Myself and my 4 best friends in the world, we all consider ourselves brothers from other mothers. We are the Beer Guys. And we had this website, we had it hosted, and we posted to it all of our beer reviews way back. Way back before ratebeer.com, before any of the other ones did it, we were doing it. And, let me wet my whistle. And the long and the short of it is that we were all living in close proximity to one another, and we had this venture where we were building up this website, basically to rate different beers, give them rankings, and do reviews on them, and so forth. And it was in the infancy of the internet, so you didn't have the ability to. You didn't have YouTube. You didn't have Facebook. You didn't even have MySpace. You didn't have any of that stuff. The only way you could do it was to actually have your own website and to update your website as you went along. And it wasn't as easy as it is with Facebook. And you just take a picture and you hit post and add a few. Back in that day, you had to write HTML and the whole bit, and it was not the easiest thing. And we were all living in close proximity to one another, and we could get together regularly, and we could rate different beer. We'd go to my garage, and I'm going to put some pictures in here for you guys to see as I go along here. But we would go to, and we called it my dungeon, because I converted it into a game room. And as you can see here in the pictures, it was a man cave. We had all the stuff in there for gaming, for D&D. We had TVs in there to watch football. We had a refrigerator. We had all of it, and that's where we would do a lot of our beer testing. Well, we ended up moving away from one another. One of my buddies, we called him Woody. That was his nickname. He moved to Alabama, and my wife and I moved to Texas, and my other buddy moved to Texas. And so we kind of all splintered, and we couldn't really keep it going anymore. Excuse me. It was just too difficult to try and do from long distance type deal. So we chose to not have it hosted anymore. And but I still own the domain name. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I've had offers to sell it, but it wasn't nearly enough for me to sell it. We may at some point when we all retire, maybe we'll strike it back up. I have no idea. But the reason that this beer is special is because this was the highest ranking beer that that we gave, with the exception of one. There was only one beer that we gave a higher rating to, and that was, and I'll show a picture of it here because I will never be able to get that here. That one is called Eula beer. That's the how you say it in English. It's actually a Danish beer. It's a Danish Christmas beer, and it got the highest rankings of all of it. That's, as far as we were concerned, that was the best beer we ever tried, and we tried a lot of them. We have tested beer in Texas. We have tested beer in Reno, in San Francisco, in New Orleans, and I'm posting pictures here as I go, kind of, all these different places that we used to test beer. We went to breweries. Here's the Abita brewery that we got to get a back behind the scenes tour of, which, as you know, Abita Amber is one of my favorites. My favorite American beer. This is an English ale here. Eula beer is from Denmark. I have several that are favorites of mine from Germany, but Abita Amber is my favorite American beer, which I've already done a Beer 30 about. So that's why, and so as you can see, we had hats and we had shirts here. See if I can do this where you can see it here correctly. See if I can just sit up like that. There you go. Like, let's see, there we go. Maybe you can see it like that. Everything's backwards when you're trying to do this. But anyway, that says thebeerguys.com on it. And so we had the shirts, we had the hats, and we'd go around and we'd do tastings and all this type of stuff. And as a matter of fact, with Hobgoblin, I actually contacted the distributor at that time, which was called Euro Bubblies, and they saw my review on our website, and they actually sent us some swag. And this was one of the things they sent us. They sent us Hobgoblin Imported English Ale mouse pads. Nice, and they're actually pretty nice felt mouse pads. And they sent us some other swag, stickers and that kind of stuff. And when we went to New Orleans, we got some swag from the Abita Brewery, some T-shirts and stuff like that. So we did. If you were ever asking yourself, how in the hell is this guy qualified to be doing these Beer 30? You know, what the hell does that mean? What do I care if this guy, you know, he's a gamer, you know? Well, the truth of the matter is I lived in Germany for 3 years in the Army. That's where I learned about good beer. Two of my buddies, two of the beer guys, are from Denmark, so they definitely know good beer. Our other buddy is from Hawaii, and he's traveled all over the place and tested beer. So we have a kind of a mixed past of being able to be qualified as a group to say, you know, this is what we think is good and what we don't like, and so forth. And there you have it. So why this is so much superior to most other beers, in my opinion, is, I don't know if it shows up on camera there, but that is a what I would call a dark amber. That's like maple syrup dark, you know, and it has the complexities of you've definitely got enough of a hop presence there to give it some bite, but you have this deep dark, whether it's chocolate malt that they're using or whatnot. But I can actually read it, the description to you here, and because I'm an old guy, I'm probably gonna have to take my glasses off. Let's see here. Hobgoblin is a blend of smooth, rich flavors from a chocolate and crystal malts. The refreshing bitterness of English Fugles hops and a dash of citrus aroma from Styrian Goldings. An ale full of mischievous character, is what it says. And the name of the brewery is the Witchwood brewer, which is pretty cool sounding. And they make other beers, and they've got one called Scarecrow, and they all have this really cool artwork on them. And it kind of reminds me of Dobby from the Harry Potter movies. But anyway, if you can find this where you are, I cannot give a stronger recommendation than to pick up some Hobgoblin. And now you know my qualifications in saying so. So that'll do it for this edition of Beer 30. It's been a blast. As you know, this weekend has been particularly busy. I've already done a video about the Gen Con announcements and regarding the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and all that. And I plan to do one probably tomorrow on the Sony Online, SOE Live, and Gamescom and all that. So stay tuned for that. And cheers. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.